Thank you for listening to the Weeknight Mysteries podcast. My name is Yuras, and I am here with my co-host Rain.
As always, hello everyone.
How are you, Rain?
I'm completely good. It's completely snowed in here in Lithuania. Quite cold, but still good. How are you?
Pretty good. We have first official snow days here hitting us this week.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, but the snow looks like it's already clearing out. I think you mentioned something about Canada, Calgary.
Yeah, well, I just saw it from my friend's post, and it was one of these days, I believe. It would be as cold as negative 26 degrees Celsius and as warm as negative 7 degrees Celsius. Crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. I don't think we had those types of temperatures in this country for a very long time now, as far as I can remember. Today we're going to be talking about disappearance of a 26-year-old young woman from Chicago, Kierra Coles. Kierra Coles was 3 months pregnant when she went missing in 2018 on October 2nd. October 2nd was the last time that Kierra Coles was seen alive. She was working as a part-time U.S. postal worker, a letter carrier. She was also doing a Lyft. Basically, I think Lyft is
Delivering food in packages?
Is it delivering food or is it giving rides?
Oh, it could be giving rides. Lyft, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I should probably know this. Maybe you could quickly take a look.
On it.
She's a African American female. She has black hair, brown eyes. It feels like you found it. No.
Yes, it's an American company that offers ride-hailing services, including rides in cars, bikes, and scooters, primarily in the U.S. and Canada, and now in Europe.
So it's not food.
No, it's just
It's just like
ride-hailing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. So once again, she is an African American female, black hair, brown eyes. Her ears are pierced. She has several tattoos. She has a heart tattoo on her left hand. She has a phrase "Lucky Libra" on her back. She has a jaguar's head on the back of her shoulder. She has words including the phrase "Love My" in a design on her chest and other tattoo with words on her wrist. She is someone who is close to her mother and close to her siblings. She would talk to her mother almost on a daily basis. There were people, or at least one person in this case we're going to be talking about. Seems like we already have suspect number one by the sound of it. We're going to be getting into him a little bit shortly. Several other things to mention before we kind of go deeper into this tale, into this case. Kierra had recently moved into her apartment where I believe this is... Well, she wasn't last seen in the apartment, but the apartment was one of the latest locations where she has been confirmed to still be alive, and that's largely due to the neighborhood's CCTV footage that did show her shortly before she disappeared. Once again, I'm going to be talking about that shortly. So she had moved into that apartment only a few months before her disappearance. She had also bought a new car at that point. Have you seen the car? It's just basically a regular car. I don't know why I asked you that question like that. Once again, she's last seen on October 2nd, 2018. Her status is that she is a missing person. Since October of 2018, the postal inspectors have tracked down and vetted nearly 400 leads across the country. And the U.S. Postal Inspection Service distributed thousands of reward flyers. Police stated that they had a pretty good idea of what transpired and that they believe that Kierra Coles unfortunately met with foul play, which I definitely have to agree. I don't think this soon mother-to-be disappeared on her own accord.
You don't think there's a chance?
No, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'm just trying to entertain.
Like all the scenarios.
Yeah.
Apparently, police, according to Charlie Project, police have multiple persons of interest in her case, and the case remains unsolved. This is where I want to kind of quickly stop, because you know the general story, right? Do you know the main suspect we're talking about here, like the boyfriend and the baby daddy? The baby daddy and the boyfriend, a man by the name Joshua Simmons, is the main person of interest here. I believe that's it has never been confirmed by police, but
Let's be real here.
let's be real here. I mean, I don't really also want to be super, how should I put it? I don't want to like accuse immediately
Yeah.
Joshua Simmons, because I'm not sure, but I spent, I think, 2-3 days looking and thinking about Kierra Coles' disappearance, and all conclusions for me lead towards this baby daddy Joshua Simmons, looking very suspicious in my opinion. But what do you make up of the fact, and we're going to be talking about the rest of the details, and there are several other interesting things here that we will talk about, but just right now, let's stop here for a second. What do you think about police allegedly stating that they have multiple persons of interest? Who would those multiple people be? I have a pretty solid suspicion, but what do you think?
I have no idea actually. When I was reading this case, I was honestly, I couldn't think of anyone else other than the baby daddy. I could be completely wrong here, but it just seemed to me it stood out. It's very suspicious.
So if they're mentioning that they have multiple persons
I have
of interest,
no idea. Do you have any clue?
yeah, remember baby daddy has another baby mama.
Yeah. No, I was thinking along this idea of it being them.
Yeah, so I think this is what they maybe meant by multiple persons of interest. Maybe they consider Joshua Simmons, who was, to be baby daddy of Kierra Coles, he has baby mamas.
And do you think they kind of conspired to...
Because I think there was a fight between Kierra Coles and one of the baby mamas of Joshua Simmons.
One of the baby mamas? How many baby mamas
I think
were there?
it's multiple.
Wait, what?
I can't confirm. I'll just say this much right now. I tried finding Joshua Simmons and I couldn't find much.
Same.
Maybe
It's a very common name.
time constraint. Maybe I didn't exercise all of the research options here, but
I tried finding him on Facebook. It's a very common name.
Basically, that's the extent of my research. I wish I could say I did some high tech surveillance here, but I just went on Facebook.
Me too, on my phone.
Yeah, Josh. At least I did it on the desktop.
Okay, mine is the lazy way I did it on my phone while sitting down.
At least I did it on the desktop, and I tried to see Joshua Simmons. Couldn't do it, man. I did hear a rumor that Joshua Simmons is now going by a different name, I think on Facebook. But I don't know what that new name is.
It's very interesting though, because I thought there were only one baby, well, two if we consider Kierra.
Yeah, but I remember hearing one, or maybe I remember reading one article, and I have a bunch of sources here, which mentioned that he had children with other multiple women. So Joshua Simmons would have been baby daddy to, like, in my opinion, if I'm right, if Kierra Cole would be still alive today and would have a baby,
What's your hunch?
he would have three. I don't think she's alive, unfortunately, but I think if she was, she would have. This man, Joshua Simmons, would be like a baby daddy to maybe 3 different women. It's a lot of women.
That's a lot of, what do you call that? The child thingy? Where you have to pay the...
Child support.
Yeah, that's a lot of child support.
Potentially, yeah. I don't know how it works. But yeah, so before we jump into the timeline and key events that we must analyze here today, I'd like to quickly mention some few notes about Kierra Coles' case online right now. The information is really, really confusing. You basically need to really spend, at least in my opinion, like 2-3 hours. If you don't know where you're looking, you need to read like so much stuff, like maybe 2-3 hours worth of stuff. Okay, maybe like a couple hours, just to kind of understand the latest news.
Yeah, I remember when you were researching this case, because everyone, it was Yuris who initially started, and he was the main guy who was researching it. And I remember a few times where you were like, okay, read this article, but wait, no, just read this. Oh wait, no, listen to this.
Yeah, it came down to like one YouTube video, to be honest, released by one of these Chicago news stations, which had, seems like, the most up-to-date information. Because the most confusing thing about Kierra Coles' case is this: initially when it broke, Kierra Cole, you know, she's a postal worker. She has a postal uniform because she's a letter carrier. So on the day of her disappearance, there was another, seems like, woman, because, you know, the footage is kind of hard to understand. It's not the best quality footage, the camera in the neighborhood. Seems like there was another woman walking past Kierra Coles' car, and this person was also dressed in a postal uniform. So, you know, everyone kind of like jumped on it and said that this is Kierra Coles. And later on, we find out that this was actually a completely
different person.
Yeah, other woman who was also working for the postal office, or like the postal service, but she just walked past Kierra's car on the day on her disappearance. Like, what a crazy coincidence, but apparently that's not Kierra. So if you go into this case just fresh, try to read some information, you might consider that that is the latest information about Kierra's case, which is not. It has been debunked. And I think the idea was that police initially went forward with this CCTV footage in order to maybe trick the culprits, to make the culprits feel that they're chasing a bad lead on or they're like going in a different direction. So I think they even asked Karen, who is Kierra's mother, they asked Karen to go public and say that this is my daughter. And it seems like this tactic, as far as we can tell, did not lead to anything productive for the police department, because it's been 7 years and I don't think there is a person of interest or anything. So to me, this case really feels like it's already gone completely cold. But it is interesting because they're saying that they know who did it. They have a pretty good idea of what transpired. This is the quote by Chicago PD. But we still don't know anything. No one's mentioned as a person of interest.
And no one went to jail even.
No. Okay, so with this big introduction, let's go over the timeline. So everything starts on October 2nd, which was a Tuesday back in 2018. At this point, it's more than 7 years ago. At some point, Kierra is on her phone talking to her mother, Karen Phillips, while she is shopping for baby supplies at 7 p.m. I found it interesting. If you're 3 months pregnant, are you already shopping for baby supplies?
I assume so, yeah.
You're already kind of starting this process.
Well, we don't have any experience here, but I'm assuming that they're already taking prenatal medicine.
Yes, this is something that was mentioned, that she had prenatal medicine.
Yeah, and then of course you're excited.
So you're getting like baby stuff
Yeah,
already.
little by little.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's not really an uncommon thing, so I think it's pretty okay, pretty regular.
All right, that sounds normal. That sounds regular. Karen described that her daughter seemed excited on this phone call at 7 p.m. on October 2nd, and she was in good spirits. There was nothing that sounded off or wrong with her daughter. Kierra was also apparently shopping for groceries at this time. We even have a CCTV footage here. I don't have it on the file, so you don't have to check it, but I will be including this on the YouTube channel. It's basically just a regular CCTV footage. I don't think we can gauge anything from it. Just Kierra walking, I think, with a shopping cart in, I think it was Walgreens grocery. Then we have another CCTV footage from the same day on October 2nd. This is the second timestamp point that we're going to be talking about. It is Kierra carrying the groceries that she, just bought into her apartment on 8100 block of South Vernon in South Chicago. So this neighborhood where Kierra was living, once again, she only moved in there a couple of months prior to her disappearance. So I'm not sure how familiar Kierra was with the neighborhood, or maybe with the locals. I've seen mixed reports. Some people are claiming that this, South Vernon, 8100 block on South Vernon is apparent. Some people mentioned it as a drug den or like a really terrible area, but I've seen some other arguments saying that it's pretty regular. It's, I think, a predominantly black neighborhood in South Chicago, but it's not necessarily super dangerous. I even looked at it, on the Google, Google Maps. What is it? Street View.
Street view.
It looked pretty regular to me. It looked like a pretty regular, pretty safe neighborhood. I wouldn't immediately suspect that it's super dangerous.
Wait, so you're telling me that the locals, well, that area had a bad reputation?
Well, someone on Reddit said that it's a drug den.
But it's not a known thing, right?
No, I don't think so. I know that Chicago has really notorious neighborhoods, like O Block. You know O Block?
Nope.
You don't know O Block?
Nope, not at all.
They got some real grimy locations. But this wasn't O Block. She wasn't on O Block as far as I am aware. Regardless, someone mentioned that it was a pretty good location. Regardless, so she puts the groceries in. Now, what happens next on the same day? What happens next on the same day is that now there's another CCTV footage of Kierra leaving in her car again. So let's remember that at some point, she goes grocery shopping. She calls her mom. Mom says everything's nice. She's excited about the baby. Mm-hmm. She comes back home.
Okay, wait. Let's start at the very beginning of that day. I'm assuming she went to work.
I don't know. We don't know this information.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she did because...
And which day was it?
It was Tuesday.
So I'm assuming she went to work.
Maybe she did go to work. I don't really know about that. Maybe.
We just know about this particular time.
Yeah, everything starts at 7 p.m. on October 2nd. So she goes grocery shopping. She comes back home. Now, sometime in the evening, this is already getting close to midnight, she leaves in her car with an unidentified man who is now called a person of interest by police, but he is never identified. However, Kierra's mother, Karen, identified him as the baby daddy Joshua Simmons, Josh Simmons, who had been dating Kierra at that point for 6 years. So this is a long-term relationship.
Oh man, yeah, it
And
is.
Kierra was 26, so she has been dating Joshua Simmons, the suspected person of interest, for 6 years, and he was the baby
She was a
daddy.
20-year-old lady.
Yeah, and then I don't know what happened, but within those 6 years, I don't know if he already had baby mamas even before those 6 years, but
Yeah, that's what I was supposed to say. I thought he had multiple baby mamas.
yeah, I think he has multiple, potentially. I can't really verify. I know he has at least, let's say he has at least one baby mama.
Other than Kierra.
Yeah. So my initial question was, did he have this, when did this baby mama come about? Because I think he had multiple children with that baby mama, and I think I've seen a image of the other baby mama, and I don't know her name. That's why we're going to be referring to her as baby mama. I've seen that baby mama with him and 2 children, and the children and baby mama faces are blurred out. You could just see Josh Simmons' face, but the children seemed already, I don't know, like
Toddlers or kids?
no, kids. To the point where I feel like, I don't know when that picture was taken, but if it was taken at around the same time when Kierra disappeared, I feel like he may have had that baby mama even before he met Kierra.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
But
yeah.
this is all very speculative. I don't know exactly.
Do you think those kids were above more than 6 years old?
I don't know, man, because it's been 7 years since Kierra went missing, so those could be recent pictures from like last year.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So maybe at the time of her disappearance, the babies were like 1 year old or something. Who knows?
We'll never know until there are more information.
Yeah, that's true. So she leaves with potentially Josh at close to midnight.
Who else could it be?
Exactly.
Maybe a friend.
But it's suspected.
Colleague.
I'm going to go with Karen here and suspect that it was Josh. And police confirmed that from the footage, Kierra is driving the car. So they leave the house, right? Now, at 10:43 p.m. on that same night, Kierra and potentially Josh arrive at Walgreens at 8,006, or maybe I just can say 8600 Cottage Grove, South Cottage Grove, Walgreens in southern Chicago, ATM. And Kierra withdraws $400 from the ATM inside the Walgreens. And I've heard Karen mention that Kierra gave the money to Josh. It was 2 separate withdrawals, and the total amount was $400. Now, Karen does not understand why Kierra withdrew this large amount of money, because Kierra was cautious with money and she was rarely withdrawing large sums. So she said, I didn't understand why she would be taking $400 out. And this ATM footage that I'm going to be also showing on the YouTube channel is the last confirmed sighting of Kierra when she is alive. Okay, no one has ever seen her alive ever since then. Then I don't know the exact information what happened next. Obviously, this is a big mystery, but the man who has been in the car with Kierra is seen driving the car back to the neighborhood, back to Kierra's neighborhood. I think he drove there the next day in the morning hours when it was already light, because I've seen 2 different sources. One source said that he drove back the car on the same day, 15 minutes before midnight, which would mean 1 hour after this Walgreens ATM visit. However, the CCTV footage where her car is being parked in the neighborhood is in daylight time. So no way that would be 15 minutes before midnight. So I'm still going with the information that he, potentially Josh, drove the car back to the neighborhood the next day. Now, what he did next was pretty bizarre. He exited the car, potentially Josh, it could be someone else, but we suspect it was Joshua Simmons, exits the vehicle from the passenger side. Not, like he drove the car, but he also exited from the passenger side. That was pretty bizarre. Now, then surveillance footage shows that the man suspected to be Joshua Simmons leaves in another vehicle that was parked. So I assume that earlier on that, on October 2nd, when Kierra went missing, he drove to Kierra's place with his own car. Then he, met up with Kierra. Both of them went to the ATM. Something happened to Kierra. He drives the car back and gets into his car. Please stop me if this is...
No, it makes a lot of sense.
If it's not understandable.
I'm actually wondering what was the living situation between Josh and Kierra. They've been together for 6 years, and she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And they weren't living together, or were they?
My understanding is that they weren't living together. So October 3rd was the Wednesday when, the car was returned to Kierra's neighborhood. The same man, so we suspect Joshua Simmons, returns to the apartment later on in that day, maybe early morning hours or something like that. He enters Kierra's apartment, and it would make sense that Joshua would enter the apartment because he would have the keys, even if he, had nothing to do with Kierra's disappearance. Let's put it this way.
He's basically the most familiar person there.
And I think he would have the keys potentially. And he leaves Kierra's apartment carrying unknown items. We don't know what he got from Kierra's apartment.
And we don't have any information about it?
No.
He didn't say anything about it?
No, not really. Then Karen, later in the same day, this was Wednesday, Karen started calling Kierra, I think for no exact reason, just to check up on her. Your daughter is pregnant.
Understandably so, living alone.
Yeah, so she makes her first phone call at 8 a.m., but she gets no answer. So I don't know if she called again or when exactly she goes to Kierra's apartment, but at some point Karen becomes worried that she can't get a hold of Kierra. She goes to Kierra's apartment. She bangs on the door. No one opens the door. The only thing she could hear from inside of her apartment was that the TV is still on. So she immediately calls Joshua. So this immediately kind of also gives me a good piece of understanding that Joshua wasn't like this mysterious baby daddy who only Kierra knew about. From what I understand, Joshua Simmons at that point was also kind of close to Karen, at least on a phone call basis. And Josh then says, I did not see Kierra all day, but I will come right over. Then Karen also asked Josh, do you have the keys to Kierra's apartment? And Josh told Karen that he didn't. But this was immediately a red flag to Karen because she remembers Kierra telling her that she gave a set of keys to Josh. And now Josh saying, I don't have keys. So eventually they had to call law enforcement who broke into the house. They found absolutely nothing in the house, no sign of struggle. The groceries from the previous day were put away and the TV was on. So that's all we know. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. Come on, do some commentary.
Yeah, the fact that the TV was on is very odd to me because nobody was there. And whoever turned it on, there was a CCTV, right? and Kierra wasn't seen going out of the house.
So Kierra was seen going out the house.
And then a guy came back.
Yeah. After the
And
ATM.
after that, Kierra was never seen going in and out of that house.
No. The last time she was captured was on
So
ATM.
whoever turned on the TV was the dude.
No, not necessarily. It could be a situation where Kierra turned on the TV. Maybe like leaving the TV on was a regular thing. Or maybe she just forgot to turn it off.
No way.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, but
It sounds crazy because would you ever leave your apartment or your house with the TV on?
maybe if I was in a rush and it was like maybe if it was unplanned, really rushy moment,
And you know you're gonna be back quickly, maybe.
or maybe you're not even thinking about when you're going to be back.
So there was an emergency then. So
We can't say.
whoever the guy was went up to her place. There was an emergency. They quickly ran out, drove to an ATM, withdrew a large amount of money, and then she disappeared.
I mean, you could look at it like that, I guess, in terms of the TV.
I'm also looking at it in terms of the TV. I'm also looking at it like whoever that guy was, maybe he turned on the TV so it wouldn't look suspicious. So when someone knocks on the door, they would assume someone was inside, just not hearing things.
I guess I see the logic in doing that. Like you turn the TV on because maybe then the
It wouldn't be sketchy.
investigators would think, oh, like the person who left, they left really quickly, thinking that they would come back.
Something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, just speculating here.
No, but that's a good thought. Let me walk you through the rest of the information we have here. Then we'll have some more kind of questions. So. Yeah, Kierra's car was actually, they found the car because, that mysterious man parked it again. We suspect it was Joshua Simmons. They found her car, but the car was actually not parked in her regular spot because, she would regularly park right next to the entry into the apartment complex, but it was kind of like down the street, even though there were many available closer like free parking spots. So this was immediately strange to the investigators because why would she park so far away if she has groceries to carry back from Walgreens? Doesn't make any sense.
And she was pregnant.
Yeah. So inside of her car they found her purse. Within the purse there was a lunchbox, prenatal vitamins, there was an apple, orange, and there was some water. Also inside of her car there was her phone, also left behind. Now, another interesting thing that happened was that Karen found out later, I don't know exactly when she found out, but that Kierra had allegedly called in sick that she would not be working on October 3rd. So I don't know when she would have called in sick on October 3rd, but she called in sick. And I think it's only possible for Kierra herself to call in sick, because you can't call in sick for someone else. Like, I don't think that works it works that way. Karen also said that Kierra had a fight with Joshua Simmons' other baby mama. Okay? There was some friction between that baby mama. And another thing, I don't know if I mentioned, but Joshua Simmons' other baby mama was also pregnant at this time. So Joshua Simmons had two women whom he was going to be a dad for.
So he basically cheated.
Well, I guess you technically have to say yeah.
If Kierra and the baby daddy Josh were together for 6 years and all of a sudden two women are pregnant?
They fought, so I don't know what kind of fight it was. I was thinking, is this a fight where Kierra finds out about the other baby mama for the first time, or did she knew about this baby mama? Because I understand I could see how the fight would happen if Kierra just found out.
Yeah.
But also, I'm thinking, if they have been together for 6 years, would Kierra never find out that Joshua Simmons had multiple children with potentially more than one woman? We know exactly that he had 2 children with one woman for sure. And I think, Karen said that Joshua had even multiple baby mamas outside of Kierra. So would Kierra never find out about Joshua Simmons, like, other baby mama in like 6 years?
To be honest, everything is weird to me. This whole living situation, they're not living together. They've been together for 6 years, completely living separately. They're adults. She was pregnant, 3 months pregnant. He's still not moving in. And there were potentially multiple other baby mamas.
I don't
It's
think
just
he
so
could move
weird.
in because he had 2 babies already with the other baby mama. So he had other family.
So who's the legal woman here?
I don't know if Josh Simmons was ever married to anyone, to be honest.
Yeah, but if he was together with Kierra for 6 years, then who came first? It really doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, I know. This is like we are working with limited information, unfortunately. But yeah, we know that there was some sort of a fight. I don't know exactly like when they fought or whatever, but there was a fight between Kierra and Josh Simmons' other baby mama. So, Karen, Kierra's mother also saw another neighbor's CCTV video. This is a video that is not available publicly, so we have to take Karen's word for it. And Karen said that in this other neighbor's footage, she sees Kierra and Simmons leaving the apartment in separate cars on October 2nd. So I don't know what that exactly means. I have my doubts about them leaving in separate cars because logistically it just doesn't make sense. I think when they went to the ATM, they left in one car. They didn't leave in 2 cars. And then also said that there's another footage where law enforcement has pictures of both of them going to the ATM. Now, in the ATM footage that I will be showing on the YouTube channel that I was able to find online, it's only Kierra walking to the ATM, getting the money and getting out of the Walgreens. But I think law enforcement may have been able to confirm, and this is not available publicly, so this is speculation, that law enforcement has confirmed that Josh was with her.
Probably just stayed in the car.
Or maybe left the car, but kind of like didn't go inside the Walgreens, which is kind of suspicious.
Very suspicious.
Right? You don't want to get...
And what's up with that $400? What was that for?
Yeah. We're gonna jump into it. So seems like, because I have some questions here, I'm gonna start asking questions real soon. But before we do that, another piece of information to mention here is that it seems like there was a 20-hour gap between Kierra last being seen alive on the ATM footage and someone calling the cops. So this is a pretty big time period, like a span of time. 20 hours is plenty to hide the body forever. And this naturally complicates the case, because if you can't find Kierra's remains at this point, you can't confirm that she has been murdered.
Yeah.
And if you can't confirm that she's been murdered, you can't really... I guess you really can't... Maybe you can, but I assume it's harder to accuse someone of murdering Kierra when you don't even have her remains.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, hiding her remains would be pretty easy, according to an investigator who did some commentary on the case. Investigator who was on the news, I remember he said that it would be really easy to hide Kierra's body forever. Basically, if you would wrap her body really good and throw it into the back of a dumpster, the trash truck would pick it up, and she would end up in a landfill. And once you're in a landfill, it's gone forever because it's a huge location. The remains would deteriorate. Smell in the landfill is not a problem because it stinks in general. So it's not like, oh, you're going to smell human remains in a landfill. And yeah, so putting the body in a dumpster and then the body ending up in the landfill, for me, it was like a realization of, man, it really is easy to dispose of a body.
Not necessarily, just maybe in this scenario, I don't know.
If you have 20 hours, I think you can dispose of a body.
I don't know, it's just really odd for me. I can't explain it because it's like, yeah, you could. If someone threw her body in the dumpster, what are the chances and how lucky were they that the truck came in and went to the landfill?
It could have been a different way to hide the body.
True. I agree with that.
So, yeah, to finish off, before I kind of like start asking some questions, because I have some questions and some thoughts that I'm even going to ask you some questions, if that's okay.
Okay, let me try.
Just to kind of like get your thoughts. But before we do that, just real quick last notes here that I have on the case. The suspicious behavior regarding Joshua Simmons is that he told Kierra's mother, that he had not seen Kierra, but later said he had been talking to her, which is a contradiction. Police said that Josh Simmons gave conflicting statements and eventually refused to continue talking to investigators. Joshua Simmons never went door to door with the family members, never hanged out any posters, or did anything to help find Kierra, which is strange. He has been together with this woman for 6 years, and he had absolutely did nothing to find Kierra, which is highly suspicious in my opinion, especially given the fact that she was the mother of his unborn child, which would make the connection between him and Kierra even stronger, but he did nothing, according to the mother. Other things to mention about Joshua Simmons is that at the time of Kierra's disappearance, he was also an employee at the U.S. Postal Service, and he has no known criminal history that was uncovered. And I think another suspicious detail about him is that shortly after Kierra's disappearance, he moves out of state with that other woman, I believe the baby mama which had a fight with Kierra. They left for Louisiana. I believe maybe Baton Rouge.
Ooh, I wanted to go there.
It's a dangerous place, from what I'm hearing. I've just seen some videos.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen some videos from Baton Rouge. If he went there, I don't know where exactly in Louisiana. I think just on the news station they kind of like indicated Baton Rouge, so I just assumed he went there. It's a dangerous location in Louisiana, allegedly. But yeah. Okay, so this is it, man. What do you make of this whole situation with Kierra Coles?
Very unfortunate, and I do think, man, I don't know, it's so tough, but she definitely did not leave on her own accord. That's what I'm sure of. But I don't know where she ended up. I can't point it out. What do you think about this case?
So I think, to me, it looks like foul play, to be honest.
Definitely. And of someone she knew. Maybe not the baby daddy. Maybe there was someone else that we don't know of. Because it feels like a lot of the information in this case are very private, and the police did not release them yet. But maybe, for the benefit of the doubt, maybe there was someone else. A friend, a close friend.
So, fair enough. I have some questions for you, and I guess for everyone here. So, the first thing that I have to say that jumps out to me about this particular topic is that Kierra at some point calls in sick for the next day. This is the first thing I want to stop at. Do you think that Kierra called in sick early on the 2nd of October or somewhere later? Because I think she called in sick for like, and I'm gonna explain to you why I'm saying this and why I think this is important is because if she called in sick early in the day, I guess it doesn't matter exactly when in the day, but if she calls in sick that she's not gonna work on October 3rd, which would be the Wednesday, what does that mean? Do you think that she was really sick or what? Because I think her mother, from what I understand, was slightly surprised that, oh, Kierra called in sick. Because let's remember, she spoke to Kierra on October 2nd at 7 p.m. while she was shopping, and Kierra was normal. I don't think she ever mentioned anything about being sick. So I'm just making this logical assumption that she is lying to postal and call in sick. It's like
It's easy.
It's like the most classic lie to do. You know what I mean? But
why though?
Do you agree that she was lying about calling in sick?
Not necessarily, because
Maybe not because you're pregnant. Maybe you are sick. Who knows?
yeah, she was also pregnant, and I don't know. A lot of things could happen when you're pregnant.
Three months pregnant. 3 months pregnant. You're probably already feeling something, right?
I think you start feeling something on like the first immediately, and maybe I'm just assuming here 3 months in, not as much.
I mean, I have no idea.
Me too, but I'm assuming from all of the things that I've seen, it's always like the beginning stages
that are the worst.
Yeah, the first trimester, in terms of symptoms.
Okay, so maybe this
trimester, but she's on her 3rd month.
So maybe this was a real calling sick, because I'm immediately thinking, when I first read the details, it immediately stood out to me, and I immediately started to suspect that this is some sort of a plan for the next day. Like she had a plan.
Could be. Maybe she's tired.
No, not tired. I thought that there was some sort of a plan to do something where she calls in sick, not to do the postal job, to do something else. I don't know what, but I thought it was always like a lie. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying she's a bad person or anything. I'm just saying like what...
We all do it.
It's calling sick?
Yeah.
When you're actually sick.
Yeah, when you're slightly sick.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't do work when
at least here.
Yeah, you can't do work when you're sick. I agree. So basically, going back to my point, I think that I always suspected that her calling in sick meant that she has a plan for the next day and she's not actually sick. Do you think that's possible? I mean, that's possible.
It is possible, but what would that be? The police probably had her phone. And nothing came of it. No?
Yeah, they do have. That's a good point. They do have her phone.
All of the information should be there. All of the plans,
if she had
communication.
That's a good point. If she was communicating with someone about the call in sick, that's actually a good idea. The police did probably have the phone.
I remember you mentioned that her phone was found in the car.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely have her phone. But I was thinking, yeah, if she had some sort of communications with someone about the plan for October 3rd, Wednesday, they would probably know about it.
They probably would have released that information to us.
Maybe they wouldn't release that information because that's sensitive. They have been releasing information gradually, so I think they wouldn't
just let that information go.
Let everything out at one go. I don't think so. Maybe they would. Honestly, I don't know what the strategy is. But okay, that was interesting discussion. Now I have maybe more direct question here. The next thing we have to obviously talk about here, is the $400, right? So...
And it wasn't in her car, right?
No.
The $400...
was never found.
It was missing.
I think so. I think it was missing. Yeah, and I think I've seen a video where Karen says that she gave that money to Josh. So naturally, I have a question. What do you think
So that was Josh then.
with her in the ATM?
Yeah. If she gave that $400 to Josh, then that was Josh.
Yeah, I think we kind of know it was Josh. It's just that police never
Reconfirmed
officially confirmed it. But I think we kind of know it was Josh.
Yeah, no.
I think we kind of know it was Josh.
I was still like in the middle. I was like, maybe it could be someone else, but clearly it's not. It's just Josh. It seems like all of the
It seems like.
yeah, everything points out to him.
Yeah, I can't be like. We have to say like still that allegedly it's Josh. We still have to say it because police never confirmed it, as far as I know. But it looks like it's Josh allegedly. $400. Why would Kierra, 3 months pregnant, give $400 to Josh? Obviously, there could be a million different reasons.
Could be he was just borrowing
You know, $400 to me.
a rent. No, not in America.
Immediately. No rent. I think if I could be wrong, I know like rent in America is really expensive. So I don't know if $400 if you could get something, but I think maybe you could rent something for $400.
Like a room.
Yeah, like a room. At least you have to at least get a room in Chicago's like somewhere there far away. You should be able to. So to me, immediately, it's so funny how you said rent because that $400 to me immediately felt like rent money.
For me as well, it was like rent money.
But then why do they need this rent money so late into the night? Obviously, it could be just regular for them. Maybe they are going out at this time on a regular basis. We don't know. But that could be rent. I would just say that getting rent money close to midnight is kind of weird.
It could also be something health or emergency related because they left in the middle of the night. She was pregnant, 3 months at that.
Yeah.
She needed her rest. She's probably really tired.
And she called in sick for the next day.
She called in sick for the next day.
And she's getting 400 and she's giving the 400 to Josh
She
allegedly.
left the TV open, allegedly.
I think she really did. If she did, if that was her.
I just can't imagine myself leaving the TV on, no matter what kind of reason I'm going out. It just doesn't make sense to me because it's like, I don't know, I'd be so worried that it will like, I don't know, short circuit or something.
I would just be thinking about the electric bill.
Yeah. So
It's
I
like
can't,
a waste
I
of
can't
money.
picture anyone leaving their TV open even if they're only out for less than an hour.
Yeah. So going back to this $400, any other ideas?
I'm also suspecting it could be like somehow emergency or health related.
I'm thinking it's either Kierra, could be that she owes this money to Josh.
No way. Remember, earlier you mentioned that Kierra was apparently very careful with money.
Yeah.
So I don't think she owed the baby daddy at that money.
But this kind of withdrawing the money.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah. I'm also kind of picturing a scenario where she withdraws the money and like it seems like shortly after, unfortunately, after this ATM footage, Kierra, if you take the most likely possibility, dies shortly after, unfortunately, after the ATM footage. That's just what the logic says.
Yeah.
As a highest outcome, highest chance outcome. So let me, sorry. So if she dies right after the ATM, I'm picturing a scenario and I'm wondering if this is possible. She owed money to Josh, or she had to give some money to Josh for some reason, or to someone else. Maybe it's not even Josh. And then she got 400, but maybe she needed to get more, and it wasn't enough. And it was a conflict, and foul play happened because it wasn't enough. The 400 wasn't enough for
But
whatever.
didn't she go to Walmart after that?
No, she never. This is like
Oh, this just one.
this is already close to this. Is the last time she was seen alive.
Oh, okay. I always assumed. I thought they drove to the ATM. She went to Walmart.
It was Walgreens.
Walgreens, sorry.
No. She got Walgreens, I think, at the same exact Walgreens earlier in the day while she was on the call with her mom.
Early, okay.
And then she came back later in the day, I think, to the same Walgreens, but just to the ATM.
Okay.
And I feel like she died shortly after. That's the highest chance outcome here, as sad as it sounds. And I think that I'm picturing a scenario that the money wasn't enough for something. I'm just picturing the scenario.
Yeah, me
It
too.
could be a thing.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was like her card limit for that day.
Or maybe, just maybe, she wasn't willing to give out more. And that's when the conflict happened.
Yeah, that also could be a situation.
Because maybe someone wanted that card. Because they knew she had more.
Yeah, maybe.
It's also very interesting to me that all of her stuff is in the car.
Yeah, so let's move because this $400, I don't think we can really get anything out of it. The man that we suspect, Josh, parks the car, I believe, the next day and leaves from the passenger side.
So he was driving the car and
he scooches over from the left side to the right side and then leaves like that.
But then nobody left from the driver's side.
No, there's only one person in the car.
I don't understand the logic of...
And that's potentially Josh. He scooches over to the right side of the car and gets out like that.
Well, that's more suspicious.
Yeah. And if this is Joshua Simmons, then...
What was the goal?
To potentially stage.
That, he left by the passenger side, so Kierra was still in the driver's side.
Yeah. So I think Joshua, and let's just say if allegedly Joshua was the guy, returning the car, which we suspect it is, I think that he is not aware of CCTV in that neighborhood.
Okay, that makes more sense because I had this thought that he was doing all of this theatrics, how do you say it?
Theatrics.
Theatrics, yeah, for the CCTV, and it did not make sense in my head. I'm like, where's the logic there?
No, I think he gets out this car through this other side to make it seem like, oh yeah, I was in the car.
But it wasn't me who was driving.
But I wasn't driving. It's still kind of strange because
there
I
are
don't
smarter
know.
ways to do it.
No, just I'm thinking, what is the goal? Am I stupid or am I missing the goal?
I'm just gonna say it's flat.
Okay, let's put it this way. He's not aware. Really sorry. I know you want to say something. I really quickly want to say this. He leaves the car. He gets out of the, passenger side. Let's just say there's no CCTV cameras, and we don't know that he left through that.
DNA.
Police will come in. They will check for DNA or something. They will find his DNA on the passenger and on the driver's seat.
Maybe he wiped it.
But he was already in the passenger seat when he left with her on the ATM, and he was the one driving, so he knew that his DNA would also be on the driver's seat, unless he scooches over to the right side. Then he cleans. He wipes the steering wheel. He wipes everything. Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's wiping the driver's seat to remove his stuff. Oh, I was only in the driver's seat. Oh, maybe that's what he's doing.
That's what I'm assuming.
Okay,
yeah.
you wanted to say something and I interrupted you. Please.
No. That's what I was supposed to say. It seemed like whatever he was trying to do there was trying to wipe out the evidence that he
That
was
he was a
driving.
driver.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now that I think about it, that could make sense. Okay, so then this person that we suspect, Joshua Simmons, is super shady right now.
Really shady. And to be honest, that TV thing, I'm really convinced Kierra, who was very smart with money, who worked 2 jobs, right?
Yes.
Would just leave the TV on.
Yeah,
It's a waste.
Doesn't sound like a very rational thing.
Yeah, what I feel what happened is that this man, allegedly Josh, already tried to stage the whole situation by leaving by the passenger side. He had the key. Maybe he turned on the TV. Like, to show that maybe Kierra went back home. And then he left. And then, I don't know, maybe with the... And I'm just completely assuming here. With the thought of like, oh yeah, I was with her. I left. She went back home. I think she was watching TV, and then I've never seen her again.
Yeah, that logically that makes sense to me. And then also, I really think he's not aware about the CCTV footage.
Definitely.
That like he's being captured literally at every different angle doing all of this stuff.
It was 2018 though.
So what does that mean?
Like, I don't know. Shouldn't you assume that CCTVs are everywhere at this point?
Yeah, but maybe if you, let's say, just, maybe if you just killed someone, your kind of adrenaline is pumping and you're not thinking. You're just thinking, I need to do this right now. Maybe it's dark. No one's going to see me.
Oh yeah, I forgot that it was in the middle of the night.
Yeah, maybe if he killed someone, he's just thinking adrenaline pumping. He needs to go for it, if he did it allegedly. So then he goes back into the house at the same time, on the 3rd of October, and then he takes out unknown items. Remember that detail?
Yeah.
What do you think he's carrying out of Kierra's? What could it be? What could it mean?
I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Because if
his stuff to prove that
he would only logically take out stuff if it's the same. We know the same man who staged the car, so it's definitely, I would have to say, highly likely the killer. So it's the killer going in, potentially Joshua Simmons, allegedly. He only takes out stuff, in my mind, logically, out Kierra's apartment that would incriminate him. There's no other reason for him to go so quickly into it and potentially be seen by everyone again. So he only takes out stuff that would incriminate him, or he takes out valuables that he knows that Kierra has.
Because he needs money.
Yeah, because he could use some money. This person took 400. He could use some more money.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Interesting why the phone wasn't taken though.
Yes, and this is where I want to step by next real quickly. The phone. I thought about it. The phone for me indicates that what happened to Kierra happened really maybe. What I'm trying to say is that Kierra never left her car on her own accord. She would take her phone. Like, the reason that
she was dragged out.
Either dragged out or somehow, some way, foul play. But I think the fact that her phone was in the car means that she never left on her own accord.
That's true, because who would leave? Maybe she forgot it.
Yeah. And then, so the last thing I want to kind of stop by here is that, do you think that Josh Simmons' other baby mama and Kierra having a fight somehow is connected to Kierra's disappearance? And that's why police, I think, said multiple persons of interest, which would be Joshua Simmons and baby mama?
I can't really form any opinion about this, mainly because there are no indicators
Yeah, we don't know
for the
anything
baby
about
mama.
Baby Mama.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like she's connected, at least from what we have, but it's very suspicious
Yeah,
of Josh, basically.
I agree, man.
Feels like Josh is all over this case, all over
He just
the
basically
CCTVs
looking
there.
shady as hell,
Yeah,
man.
so I can't speak for the baby mama, but Josh looking really shady.
Yeah. Last thing I will say. Last piece of information. This is like a on the fringe of the on the sources, but I found Facebook, a Facebook group. It's called, I think. Let me quickly check. What's it called? I hope there's no sounds here. It's Kierra Coles Vanished. I think it's on Facebook. Kierra Coles Vanished, 9.6K followers. It's I feel like quite controversial Facebook page. I didn't go into it too much. I think at some point the people running that page is even accusing Kierra's mother because of something. I didn't really look into it too much. I'm not gonna go into it, but there was one post that they kind of found, and this is on the if you could find our file. I don't know if you have it open. At the very bottom I have a screenshot, and this is a screenshot from October 2nd. Kierra Coles apparently, allegedly, I can't confirm if this is really Kierra Coles, but looks to me like it's credible. Kierra Coles on October 2nd, 8:09 p.m., so an hour after she spoke with her mother on the phone, and roughly 2 hours before she left with potentially Joshua Simmons to the ATM, she posted on Facebook, out doing Lyft rides. Hit the inbox. You see it? So she was doing Lyft on the same day
At 8 p.m.
at 8 p.m. And then eventually she met with potentially Joshua Simmons. So now I'm thinking if she's out doing Lyft at 8 p.m., if she already knew that she's gonna call in sick, I would feel, just because of how tight the timeline here is, she would have done it earlier on the... Just to me, it feels like she would have done it.
No, for me, if she already called in sick for the next day, if I'm really sick, I wouldn't be out doing Lyft rides.
Bingo. This is what I'm trying to say. This is exactly what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that, like, to me, feels like this out doing Lyft rides at 8 p.m. feels, if this is really her, feels to me that she's not really sick.
Yeah.
Do
you think there's a possibility that Josh,
and there was a plan to do something with Josh,
like there's a date the next day,
but then somehow $400 come in, and and something goes left.
maybe that $400 is going to the planned date? Man, this is tough.
It's a tough case. This is just the one thing I want to say. It really looks like it was her post. And if it's 8 p.m. doing Lyft rides, hit the inbox.
She was supposed to be sick.
She was supposed to be sick for the
Or
next
at
day.
least not sick, but not feeling great.
Definitely doing Lyft is tough, man. So, yeah, just something to think about. I don't know. I feel like we did a good podcast here. I feel like I want to wrap it up here because, there's no conclusion to be made here.
Yeah, more questions than answers, actually.
It feels
because
like, yeah.
now I realize, if she's really sick, then she wouldn't be out doing lifts, driving around. So why did she call in sick?
Yeah, that's a fair question.
What was that about? And did they find anything in her phone? Because, phones are
It was never released to the public.
Ugh. I need more info. We need more info.
Yeah. But if you don't disagree with me, I would say it's a good time to
Wrap it up. Yeah.
I guess this is where the listeners come in. Hit us up and let us know what you think about Kierra Coles' disappearance. on October 2nd of 2018. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and we will talk to you on the next time.
See you, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.